Tonight, Christmas road horror. 3 dead, a woman critical after a high-speed crash at Point Cook. Also, Melbourne celebrates Christmas Day at the beach, in church and with family. Santa pays a special visit to sick children in hospital. The Queen's Christmas message paying tribute to her husband. How a community saved Christmas for a family who fell victim to thieves. And family time for our cricketers before the MCG Boxing Day test.
Live from our Melbourne headquarters, this is 7 News with Mike Amor.
Good evening. 3 people have been killed in a devastating crash that police have blamed on a driver's crazy speeding. An Audi was travelling so fast along a Point Cook street it exploded in flames after slamming into a Honda Jazz. An innocent woman among the dead.
Christmas Eve horror. A car burns with 2 people inside. Another is on its roof. Its passenger dead and the driver badly injured.
Probably one of the worst things I've ever seen.
It was just horrific.
The impact was extreme.
Throwing the car's battery 100 metres down the road. Locals did their best to help after hearing the head-on crash, then the explosion.
I actually thought it was a meteorite or a UFO or something. It was a bizarre sound, like off its head. The explosion was massive, absolutely massive. It was huge.
I ran around the side of the house, grabbed the 2 extinguishers out of the shed. The fire was too intense.
I just started talking to the lady who was upside down, unfortunately. I just kept her looking at my eyes and just keeping her calm, I suppose.
Some tried to pry her door open to get her out.
We just couldn't wedge it open. It was just, I got a few cuts on my hands.
An Audi had been speeding down Palmer's Road in Point Cook about 7:30 last night.
It's lost control and it's crossed onto the wrong side of the road and hit the Jazz heading the other way. 2 innocent people just trying to probably get home to wrap presents and they've never made it.
One car was wrapped around the pole on fire. Couldn't see it from all the smoke. We were trying to walk down here, but I had shingles up my back and just from the fumes and the petrol burning, it was full on.
Today, people left gestures of condolence, some with no connection to the crash.
It's horrible. Just thinking if it was one of my family or my children, yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's a tragic Christmas Day for the survivor and the family and friends of the 3 who perished. The crash has also left the nearby residents who rushed to help deeply traumatised.
I really am devastated. I've had my cry. You know, my heart really goes out for the family, unfortunately.
What's been going through your mind?
If I could have done anything better, anything more to help.
Hard sleeping last night. It's Christmas and, you know, they're not going home to their families. So, yeah, hard.
This could be a quadruple fatal and we pray to God that it's not.
Paul DOWSLEY is at the Alfred Hospital tonight. Paul, what is the condition of the driver who survived?
Thankfully, she has improved overnight, Mike. She came here last night in a critical condition. She is now serious. She's a 35-year-old from Tarneet. She has leg and arm and pelvis injuries. As for the 3 who died, they are yet to be formally identified, but that really is just a formality. We understand the families of those 3 know that they have passed away and no doubt today spent Christmas Day grieving. Mike?
Yeah, just horrible stuff. Thank you, Paul. Paul DOWSLEY there. Victorians have celebrated Christmas in lovely sunshine, with many volunteers taking time to ensure those in need didn't miss out. Santa paid a visit to families spending the day in hospital, while other parents had a very early wake-up call.
It was an early start for many families. Santa had a very busy night, leaving behind the magic of Christmas. And the 4-legged family members didn't miss out either. He even made a detour visiting sick kids at the Royal Children's Hospital with a huge posse of happy helpers. Their makeshift sleigh spreading the Christmas cheer.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Do you like your present?
Yeah.
And helping to lift their spirits.
Oh, it's amazing. His face just lit up and that just numbed my heart. It's really good.
It's really good for everyone to get a bit happy because maybe they're not feeling that good over Christmas being in the hospital.
The big kids wasted no time unwrapping their gifts.
Oh, that's That's so cool, Dad. We can play that.
It's actually quite fun to celebrate it with the family, especially when I have to come to the hospital and celebrate it this year.
He even visited the smallest patients too.
I think it's a lovely opportunity for the kids to see Santa that otherwise may not. There's a lot of families in here that have a pretty tough time. I think it's bringing a little bit of happiness to their Christmas.
These children have spent the night in hospital having just had surgery, but their day and recovery made so much brighter thanks to the man in red and his many helpers.
Merry Christmas. Hundreds of Christmas hampers were given out at Les Twentyman's Christmas party thanks to an outpouring of generosity.
There's plenty of food, there's plenty of presents, so just enjoy the moment.
And he was right. Santa was a busy man. He also stopped past Sunshine, loaded with presents for the less fortunate children. It was a grand affair at the Hotel Windsor, a place with special memories for many Melbourne families.
The choice of the Windsor Hotel was very, very special because my grandmother used to bring me here when I was a small child.
Lunch was provided for 300 women and children at Fitzroy, having escaped domestic violence.
Our children have absolutely enjoyed the day. It's been brilliant, fantastic. The atmosphere is awesome.
500 homeless people enjoyed the day at Collingwood's annual Christmas lunch.
It's good they do that, you know what I mean? Because I don't know where I would have been.
President Eddie Maguire and his children were on hand to help out, as was Kate Ceberano.
It's pretty heartwarming actually that there are places available that will provide this service.
American Pie Mason Cox also spent his Christmas at the luncheon, his family thousands of kilometres away.
It's a family away from family, I'd say, here at Collingwood, so it's good to get around, have a chat with some of the people, and it's a great thing we put on here over Christmas.
Among all the festive food, some families preferred to celebrate in true Aussie style, gathering around a barbecue on the banks of the Yarra and celebrating on the sand at St Kilda Beach. TEEGAN Dolling, 7 News.
And one Melbourne couple received the perfect present, their little bundle of joy. RAPHAEL arrived a day early for an extra special Christmas delivery at St Vincent's Hospital.
It's a huge surprise, although he was kind of expected to drop on Boxing Day, so we kind of thought Christmas Day was a risk, but yeah, he's come, and you know, it's been a great Christmas present really for both of us.
RAPHAEL is the first child for parents Paula and Andrew. Many began their morning at traditional church services. Religious leaders have praised those who rushed to help others in last week's Flinders Street attack.
The sounds of Christmas morning, cathedrals filled with carols. Different denominations all celebrating the birth of Jesus and spreading a similar message of hope.
We all admire the selflessness of those who threw themselves into the care of others only days ago in the Flinders Street pedestrian crossing tragedy.
It was at the forefront of everyone's prayers.
I do pray for those people and all their family and all the people who've suffered.
Much is broken about the world, but we see in the birth of Jesus hope within the human heart, and out of that hope in the human heart, hope for the world.
Regular churchgoers and newcomers left with that same message.
It's just nice for lots of different people to come together from different backgrounds, races, ages, accents, and all celebrate as one.
I don't normally come to church on a Christmas day, so I just thought it would be a really good thing to do.
The Christmas custom had a modern spin at Planet Shakers Church, where it looked less like a chapel and more like a concert. They sang, danced and worshipped.
There's no one like our Jesus. He's so amazing, so powerful, so loving.
Music is also central to the Hillsong congregation. Churches across the city opened their doors to all creatures great and small. At St James the Great in St Kilda, there were paws on the pews. Beloved pets sat alongside their owners, receiving a blessing and taking part in prayer. MELINA, SARRIS, 7 News.
The Queen has delivered a Christmas message of unity and strength after a difficult year for the UK, which was darkened by terrorist attacks and the Grenfell Tower tragedy. The 91-year-old also used her annual address to welcome Meghan Markle to the family.
60 years ago, the Queen's first televised Christmas message was beamed into living rooms across the United Kingdom.
Television has made it possible for many of you to see me in your homes on Christmas Day. My own family often gather round to watch television, as they are at this moment. And that is how I imagine you now.